Resident Evil 9 is the 9th mainline title in the Resident Evil series, which will release on February 27th, 2026. We will play as Grace Ashcroft, who is the daughter of a legacy character, Alyssa Ashcroft, from the Resident Evil Outbreak series. Ever since the very first trailer, fans around the world have speculated what the story is going to be about. Who is the main villain? Will the game be scarier than the previous title? But there is an ongoing theory right now that I don't necessarily agree with, and that is a main character dying. Specifically Jill, Chris, Rebecca, Claire, Leon, or even Ada Wong. Now there are a few reasons outside of the obvious, like, well, money, that they won't actually off these characters, why I don't think a character is going to initially die, and one of them being, well, the main character hasn't necessarily been confirmed yet as I am making this video currently. In case if you are watching this after the fact, if a legacy character gets confirmed, then you might want to stick around because my other 2 points will still stand regardless. So I don't think for a 30-year celebration is even appropriate for a character death to even happen. Just seems a little unfitting, inappropriate for what is supposed to be a 30-year celebration for the entire franchise. I don't think Capcom is going to celebrate this fact by literally just offing one of the main characters. Just seems a little too extreme for me personally. Like, just for example, like, hey, happy 30 years, here's a celebration by us killing, you know, one of our beloved characters in the franchise. I don't think they're gonna do that. Not yet, at least. I think it would be like one of the worst timings to do it in, if anything, but I don't think it's gonna be necessarily their time yet. What I do think they might do is something similar to Resident Evil 5, where we all kind of just were baited into believing that Jill Valentine was going to initially die or have died before the events of Resident Evil 5, which is, well, Lost in Nightmares. And this is something Capcom loves to do. They love to trick people. They love to deceive people into believing something is going to go a certain way in Resident Evil. We've all seen it in the Resident Evil trailers. For example, the Village trailers, we've seen it with the wolf in Resident Evil 4 remake, where they said, like, you know, the main white wolf, or they didn't necessarily say it, but they shown that the white wolf was going to die. That kind of like led to a lot of people believing that the wolf that we were supposed to initially rescue in the original Resident Evil 4 was not going to make it, only to find out that in the remake the wolf actually survives, or it's just a different type of wolf, which is not the one that actually saves you from the Gigante in Resident Evil 4. So there's a lot of trickery going on when it comes to Resident Evil as a whole, and Capcom 100% loves to do this. This sort of stuff kind of reminds me of Tekken, if you guys are not familiar with that franchise. To kind of give you guys a reiteration, Heihachi Mishima is a well-beloved character in the Tekken community, and he died in Tekken 5, basically came back in the same game just to die again in Tekken 7, but then comes back in Tekken 8 as DLC. So do I think they might do the same thing with a Resident Evil main character? Probably, into like almost the same caliber, maybe. Hell, I even think they're going to do this with Albert Wesker. Wesker is going to make a return to the series at some point by introducing a clone of some sort and gathering the memories and data stored inside of the Megamycete. I don't even think it's a if they're gonna do it. I think it's just more of a when question of when they're gonna do it. I'll probably leave this for a whole different video. That is a future video I'm planning on to make. And probably like my #1 biggest reason is the fact that the series just doesn't have an established villain currently. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if Simmons were to take out Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 6, or Irving taking out Chris Redfield in Resident Evil 5. It'll just feel completely wrong, and a lot of people would be pissed at the fact. Like, yeah, we had Ethan's death, but his debut game was the previous title prior to Village, so it feels pretty appropriate to do it because we weren't initially like connected to this character as much as the other characters in the series, which is why I think they personally did it for Ethan and not with the other main characters. Other main characters, they initially just baited us into thinking that something really bad is going to happen to these characters when nothing really happened at the end of it all. So I think if the series had somewhat an established villain, then I feel like our characters are in a potential danger, which I don't think they have right now. I feel like if we were to have a character that's been established through multiple games throughout the series, throughout the new mainline series, I should say, I think we would have a shot of one of our characters actually being off. But as of right now, I don't think that's going to happen. Even when it comes to like making a bold sacrifice, I don't think it's their time yet to do so, only because there would be no reason to do it unless there's like a really big stake up ahead, or just a really big villain overall. I personally think it'll probably be Spencer, Wesker maybe, or maybe it's going to be one or the other, kind of like what they did with Alex and Natalia. Probably it's Spencer's body with Wesker's mindset, or vice versa. Like, who knows what can happen in this franchise anymore, because a lot of things can happen. But as of right now, I don't think any of our characters are gonna go anywhere for a really long time, I should say, because if they do it now without really an established villain, it'll feel a little like a waste of just a character death overall, when it could have just been a villain established to the series first and then doing it, because at least we'll be somewhat conflicted. Like, yeah, like this is a really good villain to do this, you know, instead of just having a just one of villain just come in the series and just do that. Overall, I don't agree with that at all. But let me know what you guys think. Will it be the last game for one of our main characters of the series? If yes, tell me who it is. If not, tell me why not. But as always, I want you guys to have an amazing day. Please be safe out there. Most importantly, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the content, make sure to like the video, and if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and you can always decide if you don't want to be subscribed anymore in the future. Most importantly, I want you guys to have an amazing day. Please be safe out there. Make sure you are drinking plenty of water, eating plenty of food, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next time. And until then, peace.